Yeah, indeed. Hello, everybody. Wednesday, the 18th of June. Welcome to the show. So was this the reason why it was more than just Dani Alves' hair that was off colour against Mexico last night? Who's the Mexican man giving birth to a million memes? And Dutch legend Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink returns to the World Cup show. Absolutely. To preview tonight's big games. So the World Cup always needs cult heroes, and this time around, well, there's some pretty stiff competition. Russian keeper Igor Akinfeev threw his hat into the ring last night, one-upping Joe Hart in the "where the f*** is the ball just gone" stakes, whilst newly appointed goal control ambassador and BBC commentator Jonathan Pearce struck again, getting us all in the mood for Brazil-Mexico by reeling off the latest murder rates in Fortaleza. But no, it's Mexican keeper Guillermo Ochoa in cult hero pole position right now, after his stirring display frustrated freshly peroxided Neymar. It's hard to believe Ochoa doesn't even have a club right now, but that won't last for long, of course, judging by this Twitter heat map after his collection of heroic saves. Brazil failing to score against Mexico for the third time in 4 competitive clashes looked more disjointed than Gary Lewin's ankle, and pundits around the world agreed. Clarence Seedorf called Dani Alves superficial. Fred infuriated Alan Shearer, who promptly dropped the "wrong said Fred" bomb, though Big Al had a point with the striker seemingly too sexy to complete more than 50% of his passes, whilst Gary Lineker called out Marcelo as a cheat for diving to try and earn a penalty at the death, a view supported by many in the Twitter sphere. Earlier on, Marouane Fellaini managed to do for the Red Devils what he'd failed to do for the Red Devils the whole of last season. Adrian Healy, commentating for ESPN in the US, summed it up perfectly with his "big man, big stage, big hair, big goal" line, which did sound a little like a Jay-Z Kanye West B-side, but was no doubt the commentary of the tournament so far. Speaking of which, Eamon Dunphy on Irish channel RTE wasn't as impressed, calling Fellaini technically an embarrassment, then somewhat ironically dropping the F-bomb moments later, not once, but twice on air before issuing the following apology. "I thought we were on an ad break." Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink back in the studio, everybody. Hi, Jimmy. Good to have you back. Let's get straight into it. Last night's game. Was it a bad day at the office for Brazil, or was it the case of one remarkable performance from one player that frustrated them from getting a victory?
No, I think the whole team of Mexico did well. They frustrated Brazil. They didn't give a lot away. I must say that the goalkeeper really played well and, yeah, was their best player. But you had other players as well of Mexico who were doing some damage to Brazil. Brazil is not yet bringing what everybody expects of them. It's not easy, you know. They've got the whole nation and everybody else, you know, watching them and thinking that they should bring better football. So it's a lot of pressure on them at this moment of time, and you can see that.
Well, Fred, let's talk about Fred, because he is one of the most perplexing characters in this tournament. Clearly an incredibly talented player, but completely anonymous last night. What's going on?
Completely anonymous. Doesn't look like that he is with it. I don't know him that well, so I don't know if he always plays like this, like he's not bothered. Obviously, he's got great talent, but we haven't seen it yet.
Will they change up, do you think?
I think so, yeah. I think when Joe came in the last 10 minutes, they had a little bit more urgency in their game and they had a little bit more tempo in their game. Joe did a lot more, you know, trying to get free, trying to get a shot away. Wasn't good, but gave them a problem of Mexico at the back.
Man City fans all around the world scratching their head when that happened. Did you sense the angst in the crowd last night?
Look, there is a lot of pressure on Brazil, a lot. Everybody, not only the Brazilians, but everybody around the world thinks that Brazil is going to win it and that they are going to win it in style. At this moment of time, they haven't shown the style yet. Neymar has showed it at times a little bit, but not really over 90 minutes. So, yes, you can see that they're feeling the pressure a bit, and the pressure is immense.
Let's move on to tonight's games then. Spain-Chile, one of the standout ties of the group stages. And it's all to do for Spain, of course, isn't it now?
Yeah, everybody is surprised. Everybody would have thought that Spain would have had 1 or 3 points by now. would go into the second match as favorites, as somebody who would be able to be in control of the game. It's totally different. Chile is the one in control. They don't need to win. They would be happy with a draw. Spain can't get a draw.
Which Spain will show up tonight, do you think?
I don't know, because Spain has changed. In the past, Spain used to play without a striker, and they used to pop the ball a lot around. Now they're looking a lot more quicker for Costa, and they don't have the ball as much as in the past. So they're not tiring teams out as much as they used to do. It's going to be interesting what they're going to do with Costa. I think they would have to play Costa because Costa made the goal against Holland. But they need to change some other personnel. The goalkeeper, Piqué, was not really playing his best football. I think they need to also change the right back because they need something more extra in the last third from the full back. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting one.
Okay, Jimmy, let's look at tonight's 3 games in a bit more detail. This is where you can play your 3 cards: breakout star, unsung hero, and head-to-head. Play them on any game you wish. We'll start with Holland-Australia, chronological order, but obviously because you're in the house as well. Of course, a fantastic performance from the Dutch against Spain. And you had an interesting story about how Louis van Gaal got them ready for that game.
Yeah, totally out of character for me, of Louis van Gaal. He invited all the wives and girlfriends and children to the hotel of the players to spend an hour with them, to calm them down, to just think about something else, think about life, not about the game. And it obviously worked.
It clearly worked. Masterstroke,
yeah.
Genius move. I wonder if he'll do it throughout the tournament, though. Daley Blind is your breakout star from this game.
Yeah, plays for Ajax. Normally, he started his career as a left back, too slow to play as left back. Then moved into defensive midfield, playing really, really well because his pass accuracy is very good. It's almost 90%. And also plays the game from that position really well. So, and set up Van Persie for the first goal. Was up and down as a wing back on the left, played really well, has got a bright future ahead.
Okay, Spain-Chile up next. Such an exciting game. We mentioned Diego Costa a little bit earlier. Yeah. The fact he's getting booed every time he touches the ball, and the tournament's in Brazil, is that kind of pressure? I mean, it's got to affect him a little bit, doesn't it?
Well, it will affect him, but he needs to get used to it because he's coming for big money to Chelsea. When he is playing away from Stamford Bridge, they will boo him as well.
Upton Park. He's got to get used to that. He's the subject of your head-to-head against Gary Medel.
Yeah, I think it will be the key today's game, how Costa will play against Medel. Medel is not really a centre-half, but plays as a centre-half for Chile, does really well. Is he going to be able to keep him quiet?
Okay, and then Croatia-Cameroon. It's make or break, really, for Croatia, this game, isn't it?
Croatia played really well against Brazil. I found that they were a little bit unlucky. They deserved a little bit more out of the game. It was definitely not a penalty. Rakitic, for me, is a player who just came out of nowhere, played the whole season really well for Seville. I think 12 goals, lots of assists, won the UEFA Cup, is going to Barcelona. So for me, a player to watch.
Your unsung hero.
Yeah.
Alrighty then, that's just about it for today's show, I'm afraid to say. Many thanks to Jimmy Floyd Hasselbaink. Always a pleasure, Jimmy, always a pleasure. Let us know your predictions in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more great World Cup content. Coming up tomorrow, we've got Faris Badwan from the Horrors in the studio. Oh, looking forward to that. Plenty much more besides. You can check all that out right here. We'll see you tomorrow. Now, Jimmy, I need you've signed the desk, haven't you?
I have.
That's a bit awkward. What are we gonna?
The big one there.
That's you, isn't it? Yeah. Well, you know what? I haven't signed it.
Go for it.
I haven't. I mean, I've written various profanities on it, but I haven't actually signed it yet. So I'm gonna. What logical spot can I hear? I guess. Pressure's on because we got some big footballing legends here, and you know how to sign an autograph. So I'll just go for a cross. Shall I? No, I don't. There we go. How's that for footballing? Oh, yeah, it's got that. It's got a kick and swirl.
It's quick and it looks okay.
The mark of a good autograph. It's a win-win.